他有着法环中最震撼的演出 CG， 却被评为 DLC 黄金树幽影中最弱的 BOSS。因爱人的一句请您忍耐，他甘愿承受那些近乎永恒的痛苦，像极了某位传奇耐烧王阿格尼以及那句活下去。如果诅咒有强弱之分，那么爱就是全世界最扭曲的诅咒。本期视频，阿伟就以颠火之王米德拉的第一视角来讲述这个关于爱与诅咒的悲剧故事。
I have endured more than enough. I ask you forgive me, dearest Nanaya. My name is Mitra. Once I was a revered sage among the Hornsent. My manse was nestled within the abyssal woods, a place once lush and teeming with life. I would oft explore knowledge in my great study, piled high with books, and challenge the unknown in my laboratory. I believed such a tranquil life would last forever. But a single encounter, one that should not have been touched, would cruelly rob me of everything. I touched him, but only once. I wrote this sentence in my diary with trembling hand. His staff was thrust before my face, and I brushed it aside. And just like that, I had touched the aging untouchable. It is a forbidden and grotesque existence. A human body, crowned with a head that defies mortal understanding, a swollen, twisted mass of flesh, riddled with uncanny yellow eyes. And what hides behind that yellow is madness and ruin. After that, a frenzied flame left its mark within my body. Mad thoughts began to surface in my mind. It craved my torment and despair, desiring to melt all the world into flame, to return the world to chaos in such a manner. I felt a fear I had never known, but thankfully I was not alone. My wife, Nanaya, never abandoned me. Together, we scoured the ancient texts in the study, researching day and night, hoping to transform the frenzied flame within me into something that could be understood, attempting to find a sliver of pattern behind the madness. In the name of scholars, in the name of lovers, we waged a desperate struggle. But faced with that ceaselessly surging madness, the research itself seemed to become a form of torture, and my own lingering sanity became my most agonizing instrument of torment. It seemed to whisper that all our efforts were in vain. What was more terrifying, that madness could not be contained. It leaked from my body like a plague. My servants and artisans were the first to be infected. Their eyes grew vacant, then kindled with a faint yellow fire as they mumbled frenzied gibberish. I could even hear the horrifying sounds of rats from within the walls. They broke through the masonry, their eyes glinting with madness and yellow. My manse, along with the entire forest, was polluted by my madness. The once serene woods became grotesque. The gentle sheep, even the very trees, were afflicted. The frenzied flame was becoming uncontrollable, like a stray spark setting all that surrounded it ablaze, dragging everything into a sea of fire. More and more aging untouchables were drawn here. This place had already become a crucible for the frenzied flame. I wanted to stop it, but it was far too late. The only thing I could do now was to ensure the safety of my wife, Nanaya. Before she could be infected by the frenzied flame, I placed Nanaya on the highest floor of the library. I laid down countless contraptions throughout the manse, severing all paths that led to where Nanaya was. I even used paintings to conceal the critical locations, to prevent anyone from reaching her. I do not know if these preparations would be of any use, but at least it was the only thing I could do for her now. Nanaya was both my hope and my deepest despair. She was the sole reason I had not given up my resistance, yet she was also a constant reminder of what a dangerous, defiled monster I had become. Eventually, the aberration in the abyssal woods was finally noticed by the outside world. My own kin, the Hornsent, came here. But they brought no hope, nor any cure. They brought only judgment and purging, and with them that fanatical justice. My servants did not yet know what had happened. They were executed in confusion and despair. A portion of them resisted, using what meager power of the frenzied flame they had. But this undoubtedly deepened the Hornsens' enmity toward us. I could understand their fury. For us, Hornsent, the soul is our very root and our strength. But the frenzied flame within me could utterly erase a soul that should have been eternal. To the Hornsent, this made me a perilous enemy. But they did not kill me. Or rather, they could not kill me, who had been taken by the frenzied flame. They impaled me with a twisted greatsword named Damnation, pinning me here to serve as a monument of warning for all who would come after. And so, my eternal imprisonment began. Time lost all meaning here. Torment and madness became my entirety. I fought to suppress the madness in my mind, fought to keep the frenzied flame from seeping out. But what was the meaning in it? The way to release had long been laid before me. If only I embraced that flame, there would be no more pain. If only I burned all the world to return it to chaos, I could be free. In the desperate darkness, Nanaya's voice came from the next room. Endure. So, Nanaya was still alive. It seemed the preparations I made had worked after all. At least she had not perished at the hands of the Hornsent. But for what reason did Nanaya ask me to endure? Was it so that I might preserve my life? Or was it to spare the world from ruin? Or perhaps for some deeper reason? Perhaps I should not think so much. Nanaya was my everything. Even if her endure was a curse upon me, a pact that bound me to perpetual torment. For her sake, I was willing to continue to endure. I know not how long had passed. Nanaya never spoke to me again. All she left me was that single phrase, endure. But I have always honored my pact with Nanaya, warning away passers-by, warning away intruders, telling them to stay away, to not draw near, until my warnings blurred and became nothing more than meaningless cries of agony. Later, a stranger came here. I begged, using the last shred of my sanity to issue a halting warning. Come no closer. No closer, I say. The man's word. But this intruder could not perceive the repentance and exhaustion in my words. He ignored the warning, unlocked the hidden paths I had laid, and slew every living thing along the way. Finally, in the depths of the manse, he stood before me. Even so, I still endured. I propped up my broken body, impaled by the greatsword, and attempted to repel the enemy in my original form. My pact with Nanaya would last until eternity. But this intruder was exceptionally powerful. He defeated my weak and powerless self with ease. Perhaps it is time to grant myself release. Enough. I have endured more than enough. I ask you forgive me, dearest Nanaya. I pulled out the cursed greatsword that pierced my flesh, tearing off my own head along with the blade. The flames consumed what remained of my sanity. I had finally become the lord of frenzied flame. But this was no glory. It was a collapse, a surrender of my own will and of my pact with Nanaya. But in the end, I was still defeated by him. In that moment, I felt both unwillingness and release. What was this long endurance of mine for in the end? And did Nanaya see me abandon my endurance? None of it matters anymore. Now, I can finally enjoy my release. If there is any regret, it would be my wife, Nanaya. She was the strength of my endurance, the curse I shouldered, and my final, most fatal weakness. Forgive me, my dearest Nanaya. I have endured for too long, far too long.
米德拉的故事到这里就结束了，但由于《颠火之王》的剧情充满了不确定性，所以上述的故事仅仅是我个人的一些理解，各位观众看个乐就好。关于米德拉究竟是主动接触研究颠火，还是意外被感染？娜娜亚的真实身份究竟是推动颠火之王诞生的颠火女巫，还是被夏波莉莉夺舍，亦或者单纯善良深爱着米德拉的普通人？这些问题可能永远没有准确的答案，但阿贝我更愿意相信这只是一个简单的纯爱故事。毕竟越是美好的故事，摧毁起来就越是痛苦。如果各位对颠火之王的剧情有其他看法的话，也欢迎和平讨论。我们下期视频见。